tonight's big news, the highly anticipated first Republican debate right here on Fox. We are just a few hours away from a major turning point in the 2024 race for the White House. And the 8 Republican candidates are making their last-minute preparations, doing some stage walks and warming up before tonight's main event at Milwaukee's Fiserv Forum. You're watching Outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner, here with my co-host Kayleigh McEnany. Also joining us today, Fox News contributor Tammy Bruce, Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall, and Fox News contributor Douglas Murray. We are now getting a sneak peek at what that debate stage will look like later tonight. So there it is. It's not just the animation with the numbers we've been showing you. Those are actual real-life lecterns where they're going to be standing. And we already know exactly how those 8 candidates will be lined up, with Ron DeSantis right in the center, Florida's governor. He'll take center stage, right alongside surging candidate and biotech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy. And now those candidates are expected to focus on the pressing issues which have been plaguing Americans under President Biden's leadership. A recent Fox News poll found 38% of Americans consider the economy to be America's greatest issue right now, with the next closest answer being the border crisis and immigration at 11%. That same poll found an overwhelming 80% of Americans say they believe our economy to be in poor or only fair shape. All right, talk to me about Chris Christie, former governor of New Jersey, certainly liked on the left. He's done a lot of media on the left. Actually, all of them have, really. But Chris Christie has been the one who's most oppositional to Donald Trump, and that's his calling card. And while he is that, and maybe he represents that, that's a distance from positively moving the country, or is it?
Well, I'd have to say, I think that, some of the people on stage maybe are, vying for, vice presidency if they don't get chosen as the nominee.
Well, that would not be Chris Christie.
And I agree. Here's the thing. Chris Christie, it's sort of like, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Eminem's song Slim Shady. Will the rims real?
That's
Slim
because
Shady,
Vivek has been rapping.
Please stand. No, it's because will the real Chris Christie please stand up? Are you the other real Chris Christie or this Chris Christie? But Chris Christie's doing something that everybody there needs to do. And I'm not talking about attack. I'm talking about stand out from the rest of the crowd. Policy-wise, these individuals are not that far apart, and they really need in this, whether they're, it's a Democratic, debate or a Republican debate, to show the voters, why me? Why do you want me? You have to stand apart. That's one thing. And 2, of course, and even first, likability. They're going to have a long-form opportunity to do that instead of just a headline or a soundbite.
It appears the liberal media is determined to defend President Biden in his title as our nation's so-called empathizer-in-chief. The media has been pushing this empathy narrative ever since he took office, with headlines like this: Biden's empathy is what matches him to this moment. And do you remember this gushing moment? How could you forget it? It was on CNN the day before President Biden's inauguration. And how sycophantic can you be? That was pretty bad. But as it turns out, President Biden's actions speak louder than the left-wing media's words when it comes to so-called empathy. Leslie, I go back to Maureen Dowd and her New York Times piece that got a lot of attention. It was her sister, who's a Republican, and wrote a letter that she was not immune to the Irish gregarious charm of Joe Biden, and she met him at a media party and was very sucked in, and for a time supported him. And then she was really turned off when he didn't acknowledge one of his grandchildren. And I just think if there are thousands like Maureen Dowd's sister in the right areas of the country, this could be a key deciding issue: how he empathized in Maui, what he did with his grandchild, and beyond, East Palestine. I mean, I think it could move votes.
I disagree with you. I'll tell you why. One of the and by the way, Obama got criticized for singing that song, and it was beautiful in my opinion. Her sister's a Republican. Overwhelmingly, the Republicans aren't going to vote for him. Overwhelmingly, the Democrats are going to vote for him. No, and that's the reason I don't think that, whether it's empathy or not, and the definition of empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. I think maybe I'm a bit like Joe Biden, because I tend to try and connect with people. Like if somebody's lost a child like I had, lost a father at a young age, you moved all over the country, married somebody from a different race, culture, religion, ethnicity, I'll be like, me too, and that can be a bonding experience. But to your point, no, I don't think so. And the reason, when you just look at the top 10 things that are most important to voters across the board, Empathy is not on that.
That was President Biden declaring that the pandemic was over, but it appears the pandemic is not over because the mandates are making a comeback. New Jersey's Rutgers University is threatening to disenroll students unless they are fully vaccinated and masked, while Morris Brown College and Hollywood movie studio Lionsgate are requiring people to mask up indoors. And despite only a small uptick in COVID cases, the liberal media, they are making the case for masking again, even in your own home sometimes. And not surprisingly, so is St. Dr. Anthony Fauci. And, Leslie, I think compulsion has been a problem. We played some sound bites yesterday of the president saying, if you don't take this, you will pay. I mean, he sounded like a mobster in some cases. And I don't know that helped. It probably hurt a lot of people in their desire to take the vaccine or even consider it.
Well, I think we're way past people taking the vaccine or not. I think most people have already taken the vaccine or not taken the vaccine. I want to empathize with you, Tammy.
Really? Oh, I love that.
Yeah, because I can't take, sorry, being Joe Biden here, I can't take the flu shot. I'm immunocompromised. And I wore a mask yesterday when I flew here on a plane, and I haven't done that in a while, not just because a lot of people were coughing. I have to say, I didn't know there was an uptick, and I live in Los Angeles, but I'm not exaggerating. 6 people in 6 days in my circle, meetings, teachers, cousin, friends, brunch, lunch, meetings, got COVID, can't meet, got to reschedule, got COVID. I'm like, what is going on? So I think this is why some of these companies and some of these schools are making this decision, and they are afraid.
I mean, who cancels her? A Hollywood megastar is now taking a stand against cancel culture. I mean, she's beloved. Actress and Friends star Jennifer Aniston made those comments in a new interview with the Wall Street Journal magazine. She says today's society needs more room for second chances, telling the magazine, quote, "I'm so over cancel culture." She says, "I probably just got canceled for saying that. I just don't understand what it means. Is there no redemption? I don't know. I don't put everybody in the Harvey Weinstein basket." Leslie?
When you're going to have the name Harvey Weinstein, no, rapists and sexual predators should have no redemption. As the victim, I would say that. But to your point, Johnny Depp, another one, although he's coming back, and I think we'll see the same with Kevin Spacey. Look, not all men, certainly, or women, are all, Harvey Weinstein. And men shouldn't be afraid to work around women. But it's easy to say when you're in the castle, as Jennifer Aniston is, how things are from there. It's very different from a woman working in a factory than Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.